You were in an accident, and now you're in hospital. It's important that you stay still so you don't hurt yourself. Come over here, where he can see you. It's all right.
Hi. You're okay. It's okay, don't try to talk. What's he saying?
Carmen's not here, Guy. This is Tuesday. It's your daughter. We don't know what kind of damage there's been. After the accident, he was unconscious for a while. His brain was deprived of oxygen.
You mean brain damage? You're saying
Oh, I'm not saying anything. This may pass.
Got a minute? About Mrs. Cole, I made a mistake.
Yes, you did.
I should have sent her to Central as per protocol, and I should have left the Foley up to the specialist.
And that makes it all better, does it? How many times have I warned you this would happen? A woman is in critical care. If she lives, she's going to be sick for a really long time, and all because you are so bloody arrogant. It's just out of sight, out of mind with you, isn't it? Get your jollies and bugger the consequences.
That's not true.
Oh, really? Okay, to prove that, you get to front up to Mrs. Cole's family and explain why this happened there in HDU.
Sure thing. First chance I get.
Good.
All right.
Okay, San Francisco. We live in San Francisco and you're a famous author.
Thank you.
You wrote 3 books. We love going to Chinatown and our favourite restaurant is Mr. Bing's.
The specialist is on his way. We're going to run some tests.
How long is he going to be like this?
It's pretty tricky to pin down. Some patients get full function fairly quickly. With others, it takes longer.
Right then. We just have to do everything we can to help him. Music, I'll bring in his favourite CDs.
Good.
And photos of him and me. And the family. Tony and Harry. We'll get them in here. Tony was the last person he saw before the accident. She's bound to trigger something.
Baby steps, eh? We don't want to overload him.
We have to help him. We have to do everything we can.
What he needs now is rest. We'll talk to his doctor in the morning. If he thinks Guy is up for visitors, we'll bring Tony in then, okay?
Namaste, Mr. Desai.
Namaste.
Dinesh Giovanni. I'll be assisting in your surgery tomorrow.
Giovanni, an aunt of mine married a Giovanni?
Yes, unfortunately, I'm not here for chit-chat. We're concerned that you don't understand how imperative it is for you to take time to recover from your surgery.
2 to 3 weeks? Ridiculous.
You think you know better than your doctors, sir?
I have a family to support.
Mr. Desai, why do you waste our time? You would not even be here if you had taken your medications correctly. You think we write prescriptions to amuse ourselves?
The drugs are expensive.
With good reason. They would have kept you out of hospital, and then there would have been no need for surgery and no burden of worry to your wife. You're a selfish and foolish man.
Perhaps you're right.
Of course I'm right. Now you will do as you're told, or I wash my hands off you.
See me after rounds.
He had a major freak out when he woke up. But the doctors say he's stable and they're running neuro tests to measure his cognitive responses. So we still have no idea how much brain function he'll get back.
Where am I staying tonight?
Home.
Can't I stay here?
Come on, mate, let's get your stuff.
How are you going?
Dad thought I was Carmen.
Well, rumour has it you do look a lot like her. I've nursed a few coma patients. Sometimes it takes a while for things to fall back into place. Guy's suffered a lot of trauma. His poor old brain's just trying to make sense of it all.
Uncle Chris says he might be brain damaged. Permanently. Sorry. This is hard for you too. I know. That's why you need to come to the hospital tomorrow. I know if we're both there, we can bring him back. We'll just talk to him all the time.
Sure, if I'm feeling up to it.
Brilliant.
Okay, let's make a move. Thank you for having him.
You don't have to thank me. He's my son too.
I know. Say goodbye, Harry.
Goodbye, Harry. See you tomorrow.
Last thing they were expecting.
I'm not alone there. How's she doing?
Still a bit each way. Have you spoken to them yet?
Just about to.
Good. It'll make a big difference.
Ashley?
Harry is. Tuesday's probably got the laptop under the covers researching coma recovery.
Here, get that down you.
Cheers.
So what kind of a state is he in?
Ah, what you'd expect. Memory loss, weight loss, muscle wasting, anemia.
Could still go his way, you know, assuming he didn't suffer anything permanent.
Well, Lawson, the specialist, suspects residual damage.
Well, it'll be a long recovery either way. So what's the plan?
I'll bring him back to Shortland Street in the initial period. After that, a private rehabilitation centre.
Not with family then. Tuesday will fight that all the way, no doubt.
Yeah, well, she's the most important person in this equation. Can't ignore her needs. So, well, guess I'll have to find something that suits us both.
Must be pretty stressful trying to hold it all together.
I switched into work mode. A series of problems need to be solved.
Yeah, sure, but seeing a guy
To
like
be
that...
honest, don't feel a damn thing. Could you eat something? I'm starving.
What the hell were you thinking? I've never seen anyone speak to a patient like that.
I was merely telling Mr. Desai that he needed to follow doctor's orders.
By verbally abusing him.
A little more shouting, and Mr. Desai would not be facing serious surgery tomorrow.
I'm sorry.
By taking his thyroid medication as instructed, he could have avoided the whole thing altogether.
That is not the point. You cannot raise your voice to a patient like that. It's rude and disrespectful.
Not in this case. Mr. Desai had no respect for your correct
So
medical...
you come on with your bully boy tactics.
You may call it that, but I said what...
Stop now if you're at all interested in completing your contract at this hospital. So far, I've seen more evidence to get rid of you than to keep you around. Number one, I call the shots, not you. Number two, you will treat our patients with courtesy and restraint.
But that what-
Have I made myself clear?
Yes, doctor.
Anyone care to explain where my attic clock has disappeared to?
Mr. Desai discharged himself. Didn't they tell you?
What?
He's been on the phone to his GP and is now fully committed to taking his thyroid medication. He sees no need for surgery. Lucky Dinesh spoke to him.
Spoke? The man was shouted into submission.
Believe me, this is a good thing.
On which planet?
Planet India. In our culture, it's expected that a doctor will be blunt if a patient isn't cooperating.
Blunt I can work with. Yelling, no.
But we Indians are great shouters. Shouting is how one Indian man gains the respect of another. Loudest voice, more respect. Keep that in mind if Dinesh becomes too cocky.
Oi, I want a word with you.
If this is about Mr. Desai, I firmly believe discharge was in the patient's
Whether or
best
not this is in the patient's best interest remains to be seen, Dinesh. But know this, I will not tolerate you undermining my decisions or my authority. However, in light of recent developments, I'm willing to overlook it and encourage you to be more open about managing cultural differences.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. I knew you'd come round to my way of thinking.
There's tubes out.
Tuesday.
You're okay.
I'll just be next door.
Yesterday you didn't know who I was.
I forget my beautiful girl. I have a big brother. So many gaps. They told me there was an accident, but I can't remember.
We were at the farmhouse. Remember? Out in the country. Uncle Chris came to see us. We were driving away. You, me, Harry and Tony.
Where are you?
He was still back at the house. Anyway, I guess we were going too fast because we went off the road.
I was driving. Was it my fault?
Of course it was your fault.
What happened? What are you telling me? Tuesday.
How about you go and get us some coffees?
Don't forget I love you.
Come in.
Hey.
Oh, please tell me you come bearing coffee and donuts.
Oh, sorry.
Not even any coffee.
No treats. This is a business visit. About Mrs. Cole.
Oh, damn, has she gone downhill?
Not noticeably, but her niece Cynthia is concerned.
Well, is it something I can explain to her?
Well, she understands the medical situation. What she doesn't understand is how it happened.
But Kip would have gone through all that with the family last night. He said he'd speak to them.
Yeah, not according to Cynthia.
Well, maybe he spoke with another family member before she arrived?
No, Cynthia was the first of the family on the scene. She's been here ever since. Kip hasn't been anywhere near her.
Where the hell do you get off?
Morning to you too, Doctor.
Can you even begin to imagine what those poor people are going through? That woman was healthy yesterday. Suddenly she's at death's door because of your misadventure, and you don't even have the basic human decency to offer them an explanation. Cruel and Heartless doesn't even come close to describing it.
We're talking about Mrs. Cole, I presume?
You don't give a damn. You just don't give a toss, do you?
Clearly not.
Yeah, well, never mind. You made the whole team look like a bunch of amateurs. Never mind. That whole family are stressed out of their heads. I asked you to talk to these people, and once again, you have completely disregarded my instructions.
I tried to speak to them. It wasn't the right time. I didn't want to intrude.
That is not good enough. You get your lazy butt up there
In
right
case
now.
you hadn't noticed, Sarah, I'm a consultant, not some wet behind the ears registrar. And that means that I'm your equal. It also means that I can organise my own life. So I will talk to the Coles when I feel it's appropriate, not when you tell me to. Excuse me.
I believed you were going into rehab. You never meant to, for a moment. Instead, you and Tony bundled Harry and Tuesday into the car and you took off. You were so whacked on whatever it was that you took that day, you were going way too fast. The police clocked you speeding. You were running from them when you crashed.
How did that happen?
You gave Harry a broken collarbone, abrasions, severe bruising. Tony, a ruptured spleen, lacerated liver, one kidney gone.
God.
But Tuesday was the most damaged of all. Only her injuries you can't see, not just the trauma of the accident, but the sense of responsibility she feels for the fact that it happened.
You stop it.
She came to see me, Guy. You know why? Because she was scared.
No.
She was scared of the snivelling, violent addict that she is unfortunate enough to have as a father.
No, it wasn't.
She did the right thing. But she's the one who's suffering. She's carrying all of this. She thinks it's her fault. And you know the really sick thing about all of this is that she still worships the ground you walk on. The selfish bastard who ruined her life, who dragged her down into the gutter with him.
I'm sorry.
Sorry's not gonna give me back my family!
I'm sorry. You should just let me die.
Shortland